Congratulations on night one for the Juno Awards. This has probably been, I would say, the most diverse Juno Awards, right down, of course, to Deborah Cox, who's going to be receiving her honors, which is a long time coming. What were the thoughts and the importance of making sure that every year, especially what we've seen over COVID, and some of the things we've seen in the States and we've seen, throughout the world, in making sure that in Canada, when we talk about music, it is represented in every culture possible with music's biggest award in this nation?
Well, I think, as you're saying, Rudy, I was so excited when I saw the nominations come out this year. It really is. This is the most diverse roster of artists we've ever seen. I remember when I first looked at the Songwriter of the Year nominations, and to see The Weeknd and Mustafa and Toby and Charlotte Day Wilson, it was an amazing feeling to see all these amazing songwriters being recognized. We've been working really hard. What has to happen within our organization is we need to look at the membership and how it's made up. We've done a ton of outreach to bring new people into CARIS, to also look at all of our judges and music advisory committees. All of that helps bring other people into our organization. So I couldn't be happier about this year's nominations. And again, you'll see that on the broadcast tomorrow night. It's also a very diverse show that we put together, which I'm super excited about.
Hello, sir. Rudy Blair Entertainment Media. First, congratulations on this win.
Thank you.
It's funny because I talked to one of your competitors, Kirk Diamond. And he was, I would say, if you check our interview out, he probably talked about you for about 2 or 3 minutes. Is he back there?
No, here comes my mom.
Oh, your mom.
Yeah.
What is the relationship between the two of you? Because, like I said, he has such high praises for you, and he also said, too, you got a lot more things coming in the future also.
Well, we're competitors, but we don't really look at it like that. We help each other up the ladder. So, it sounds a little bit mushy, but he's my best friend in the industry, and if anyone was gonna win over me, I'd want it to be him. So, if he talked about me, that's amazing.
Next up is Rudy Blair over there on your left.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, Rudy Blair,
What's up,
Entertainment
Rudy?
Media.
Yeah, man.
Family.
Yeah.
You guys know that when I first started doing music reporting, it was your mom who introduced me to the first artist. So we go way back. I can go on and on right now, the Harry Jerome Awards and everything else.
Yeah, man.
But first up, my condolences, because I hadn't had the chance to say it to you in person. But you know what your mom meant to me and to so many others in helping people get their starts. What has it been like for you to hear the stories about your mom from people, maybe stories you haven't heard, but now telling you what she did and has done for so many people personally, like myself?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I was speaking about it earlier on that when she passed, my brother and I were on either side of her, December 3rd, 2020. Very next day, I was in the office speaking to the Star and others that were calling about it. Trudeau posts about it. All these big artists are starting to. So for the past 2 years, it's been this momentum of just seeing these stories of people that she has impacted that you might not have known, right? And it's been a beautiful thing. I think it's allowed us to step back and see mom from another angle, right? I think that's what's been beautiful about it, and to just be here tonight and to be living proof of the legacy is huge. And the fact that you all are giving us time, that all started from parents in the 80s starting something, coming to this country and deciding that there needs to be something that represents the places they've come from. And so we're a really living manifestation of that. Like, this is it happening, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and just to continue, Rudy, it just gets you emotional. Just as you're watching that video and seeing all the nice things people are saying, it's really, it's crazy to, she's not here, but you're still having to celebrate. So it's, you're feeling a whole bunch of different emotions. You're kind of going through the whole gamut, but, we do thank people for sharing those moments with us, sharing their thoughts, because it is a comfort during a time when, it's not really easy. And shout outs to you, Rudy, as well, because your interview with her at the TD launch is probably like one of the last recorded interviews of her. So, yeah, I just watched a piece of it again a little while ago. So thank you very much for capturing that.
Mom always said, don't let your address define you, Like, for her, she would always tell us that if the ideas are coming into your head and your mind, then they're yours to see out in the open, because you've been gifted them, the belief that you could do this. And that's how we would move about the world. What a gift. You know what I mean? To have that kind of like instilled in you. Jeremy talked about the shows. You talked about the early days, Bamboo, Copa, Concert Hall, Phoenix, like all back in the day when
Elma Combo.
Those were my bedrooms, Eglinton West, in the car at night while they were postering up, posters for shows with that glue that people used to mix back then to put posters up. If you know about that glue, then you know about those days. You know what I mean? So this is real life manifestation. And she said, never let your address define you. And I think that's a message we can all take. If the idea is in your head, it's yours to see out, live out.
That's a lovely answer. We have one more question from Megan.
Hi, Rudy Blair Entertainment Media. You and I always talk just during the awards when you're winning something, which is congratulations again. My colleague here had a chance to talk about Deborah Cox.
Yes.
You mentioned about Julie Black.
Yes.
These are the queens. You are arriving on that chariot also. What do you want to leave behind for the next R&B queens and kings in the future? What do you hope to leave behind for them so they can be on that same pedestal where you are on now?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. For me, it's just always sharing anything that I've been given. Like everybody who's out right now, we're all collaborative. Like, it's amazing. Everybody in the category, John Vinyl, Emmanuel, Dylan Sinclair, who was nominated last year. There's so many incredible artists. We're all friends. We all share information. And really having, Julie and Deborah kind of lift me up and support me is amazing to see. Melanie Fiona as well. Like, I'm huge fans of these women, and they've been nothing but open and welcome. So I'm always going to do that same thing. I'm always going to pay it forward.
Hi, Rudy Blair Entertainment Media.
Hi, Rudy.
It has been a long, long time since I've seen you guys. From like way back when we did the one-on-one interviews and stuff like that. How do you think you've changed? And this goes for the both of you. How do you think you've changed over the last couple of years, especially the last 3 years with COVID and what we've seen in the world? Your music has always been really about what changes that happen in the world, and you've always spoken through that.
Yeah.
You must have a lot of songs going on now with the way the world has changed.
Yeah, I made 2 records last year because it was, obviously, in 2019 was a very interesting year for me. I lost my best friend and collaborator, Carl Barham, and so before the pandemic, I was already sort of feeling a little strange about life. And then when everything kind of stopped, I really sort of went inward, because it was actually probably the first time I've actually sat and just taken a minute to look back and analyze and assess everything that has happened since I was a kid in St. Catharines and got into a van and left home, So I've written a lot about it, and there's a new Alexis record coming out soon that has a lot to deal with it. And then I made a City and Color record too that will come out later on this year. And I have done the thing that you were referencing. I have done some thinking, and I have put it to song. So it's I don't know how much I have changed, or I think maybe it will become apparent to me once the music comes out and I start talking to people about it. You know what I mean?
Brother, it's great seeing you.
You too, Rudy.
Thank you for that answer.
Susan, Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, way over a year.
Hey, Rudy.
It's been a long time since you and I have seen each other, and I always enjoy the interviews that I've done with you in the past with your music, because your music, of course, has been always so important. Was there a bit of a transition from music to the work that you've been doing to be able to receive this award? And also, how is it that you don't age?
Yeah.
You look exactly like you did when we first started doing this.
Well, the
a
rule
long
of thumb
time
is
ago.
every 10 years you add an extra pound of makeup. To answer your question, Rudy, I don't think there was a transition. The first album, Arctic Rose, was very, very personal stuff. And the early questions when that first came out was, had I known this was going to be the career, would I have written so personally? And I don't think I could have. I think mine is a very common Indigenous story, and that was what I was writing about. That's the experience I was writing about, so I had to be honest and truthful about it. And of course, because we started writing about these very personal things, and the nature of art being what it is, you start to get well, you start to heal, so it all kind of naturally extended into work in that area with children and youth in the North, which we've done from the very beginning, so it's always kind of been there. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy.
Well, I have to say that Rudy Blair Entertainment Media. I have to say that.
Love you, buddy. Great to see you, Rudy.
Good to see you too, man. Look, can we talk about how, I mean, you're winning in the category of Best Country Album, but musically, lyrically, your music has sort of changed into other sort of, you're mixing in other genres. Your lyrics are talking more about not just what usually country music would talk about, but you're talking more about things that are going on in the world. Can you talk about that transition and when it really began? And also the Massey Hall show, what's that going to be like, man?
Well, I'll touch on Massey. I mean, I think it's one of the most extraordinary venues on planet Earth. All my friends who've played there have told me this. I made a very important vow to myself that I would not go to Massey unless I had the opportunity to play my own show, and I get to do that coming up this Saturday. So a week from today, and I can't wait for it. I hope that you can make it, and I'd like to invite everybody here in the room if you want to come. I've got a ticket for you, so I'd love to see you at Massey. But I think that the greatest thing about country music for me, and I'll fly the flag for country music in this moment, is to say we have such an encompassing umbrella. And when we talk about diversity and inclusion in so many different ways, we've done that from a musical standpoint for generations. So for me, having an opportunity to collab with 98 Degrees right now, or having been able to collab with Dave Mustaine on a previous record in 2019 that won the Juno, I mean, it's from Megadeth, and what business does he have on country music? Well, it's because we're accepting of all in country music in so many different ways. So I'm just happy to kind of, spread my wings and push the envelope a little bit. Yeah, I love you too, Rudy.
Hi, Rudy Blair.
Hi,
Blair
Rudy.
Entertainment Media. Great to see you. Congratulations again. This seems like we do this all the time. But you've had an incredible, I'd say, year and a half with collaborations, with other awards, this tonight. What was it personally that you opened up to have all these great things happening? Because I know for the last couple of years it's been up and down, but this last year and a half has been, to me, from what I've seen, completely solid, and you're in the right direction.
I feel like it has a lot to do with my new album that I wrote. This is the first time that I have truly kind of been super open about my story with mental wellness and where I've come from, and been sharing really openly specifics about what I've been through. And I think it's because I've kind of come to another place. I think it's because I'm 3.5 years sober for the first time in my life and it's changed my life. It's really changed my life, and it's really helped me with my mental wellness in a huge way. That I feel like I just trust myself a little bit more. And I'm able to be in my own skin more, I'm healthier, so it's a nicer place to be. I don't have to kind of disappear, I feel like I'm a bit more present.
Big love.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy.